Hello and welcome to the first week of AD2L. This is probably the second, maybe third game played in this season. Meow Meow Kitty Rangers versus Digital Gaming. We are a fair bit of the way through the first phase of this draft, or at least the first phase of bans. Meow Meow Kitty Rangers have banned out Tusk and Razor, while Digital Gaming remove Io and Night Stalker.
5 seconds remaining.
Some fairly high priority heroes been banned out now. There's still things like Witch Doctor, Disruptor, Sand King, Tiny, all possibly going to be banned. At the Clockwork, another one of those reasonably popular roaming supports. Could also theoretically be run in the offlane, though I think that has really fallen out of favorability. And Treant Protector, removed by Digital Gaming, something we don't see a whole lot of, though perhaps MMKR do play it. So maybe Digital Gaming did their homework or just don't really want to deal with the tree. They've banned out a couple Vision heroes, so I wonder what they've got up their sleeve. This does leave Elder Titan. This leaves Witch Doctor, Sand King, Disruptor, Tiny, all in the pool. And Meow Meow going for the Naga Siren, almost certainly a support and almost certainly going to buy a Meteor Hammer, while Digital Gaming do go for the Disruptor, who was left unbanned and unpicked by MMKR. With their second pick, I wonder, do they go for another support, pick up an a flexible offlaner like a Batrider, maybe go for a very safe and secure carry like the Gyrocopter? Tusk was banned. They might want to get an aggressive support on Digital Gaming, since Disruptor doesn't do a great job setting up kills until he gets some levels, until he gets at least a couple points in Glimpse, because with just the one, it's really short range. And Kinetic Field, also not the best spell in the universe for finding kills by itself. And if that's a support, that is one aggressive support and a great way to set things up. Digital Gaming manipulating the positioning of MMKR. Have a lot of great catch and really good team fight just already for Digital Gaming. I wonder if they're going to focus on pickoffs or if they are going to try to all in on the team fight. It's a little too early to tell. Kunkka and Disruptor both fit really nicely into either of those drafts, but Naga Siren, great disengage thanks to Song of the Siren, and they grab Shadow Demon, another very defensive hero, so the disengage potential, or the counter engage potential of MMKR is certainly there, and Digital Gaming, I mean, the one downside to the Shadow Demon banish is you can set up for Kunkka's Torrent Boat combo if you're not really, really careful with it, if you use it defensively. Death Prophet, Juggernaut, banned out by MMKR and DG respectively. Terrorblade also removed from the pool, and that Gyrocopter, kind of surprised he made it through the first phase untouched. Both teams with their supports, though DG could go for a core Kunkka if they felt that that was better for them for any reason. Onto their third pick. This is when the teams are going to start picking their cores, most likely offlaners, but they could go for safe lane heroes that are still open. Things like the Lifestealer, Lycan, all have been very, very popular. Queen of Pain could also be gone for. I think Digital Gaming, I mean, they have so much catch. I wonder if they go for more AoE stuff, more team fight. They could go for an offlane Sand King. I feel like Batrider might not be terrible for them either, but they're going to grab the Abyssal Uberlord, a very good offlane hero, and I don't think MMKR's supports are particularly well equipped to handle the Underlord's laning power. The Firestorm going to be incredibly difficult to lane against unless they get like a fairly long ranged hero. Melee heroes really struggle against it, except maybe Juggernaut, who has been banned out, something that can deal with the magical damage from the Underlord. Faceless Void is okay against it, but yeah, MMKR go for Tiny. So that could safe lane, that could offlane, that could mid. It's very flexible. I see it mostly in the offlane now than anything else, though, so that's where I imagine it's gonna end up. Digital Gaming have so much AoE, a lot of really good catch as well.
10 seconds remaining.
Are they going to focus in? I feel like they are lacking a bit of damage at the moment, though, so they're going to need some high damage heroes, but they grab that Shaker, and this, I imagine it's a mid Kunkka, so a bit more damage and just so much control and so much catch for DG, and MMKR, if the Naga's positioned well or the Shadow Demon's positioned well, they can save their cores or each other
10 seconds
from
remaining.
the initiation, from the catch of DG, but it's going to be really, really difficult because they have so
5
many ways to
seconds
get in on you.
remaining.
They've got Glimpse, they've got X, they've got Boat, they've got Torrent, Fissure, Pit of Malice, Static Storm, Kinetic Field. There's a lot of things that you have to look out for MMKR, and their cores absolutely need BKBs this game in order to really, in my opinion, do anything in team fights, especially Tiny. There's just so much that you're going to have to get through, to walk through for this Tiny. It's going to be so hard to hit enemy heroes. It's going to be a huge pain for this Tiny to actually get in and hit people before he gets a blink and a BKB. So I'd like to see MMKR get something that like maybe offlane Omni Knight. He's been unbanned, and then you safe lane the Tiny instead, because Repel will be a great counter engagement. We'll be able to get Tiny able to contribute to fights a little bit earlier. It completely shuts down so much of Digital Gaming's draft. But it's also very, very greedy, and then they have the problem of they don't have a ton of damage. But DG themselves really, all of their damage on their team right now is from spells and then Kunkka, so BKB is going to be really, really hard to deal with. If Tiny gets it or they get it on whatever core. If I were MMKR and I wanted something tanky or a lot of damage, I feel like Shadow Fiend wouldn't be horrible for them. He can get a BKB. I mean, he's pretty vulnerable, like in the lane, and he'll beat the Kunkka. I'm feeling that he'll beat the Kunkka. I like Shadow Fiend for MMKR. It's not banned either. I could also still go for, if this is a safe lane Tiny, they could go Sand King. Good damage, good control, great initiator. Another thing that they don't really have a ton of. They do got good setup with the Shadow Demon and the Naga, but I feel like you want to save Shadow Demon's Banish and Naga's Song for defensive plays, at least for the first half of the game or so, until your Tiny gets some items. So some maybe like Tempo Setter, Queen of Pain might not be horrible, but they have so many ways to lock a Queen in place, and they're going to go for Viper instead. Very tanky, a nightmare to lane against for a hero like Kunkka. Lifestealer banned out, Digital Gaming expecting this Tiny to go off lane, and you know what? I think I am too. Be a fairly difficult lane, but he can CS reasonably well in hard lanes. He can throw his tree, he can toss, and he catches up pretty nicely, and MMKR instantly go for Morphling. Ooh, something I don't see a whole lot of, especially not in the AD2L. I think he's kind of made a resurgence a bit, kind of risen up a tiny bit in popularity. Not a ton, not like a huge hero, but I think he's been
10 seconds remaining.
He's kind of upgraded a little bit. So DG are
5
looking for a
seconds
safe lane
remaining.
hero. Lycan, still there, but it's another melee. They might want to get something ranged. They could go for Luna. PL is banned. If they want to go ultra late game against the Morph, I suppose they could do Medusa. Early game, there's options like Chaos Knight. They could get... I'd hate to see Anti-Mage. I do not think that hero is really good right now. Sven's in the pool, but I don't think it does anything this game. Sven's probably terrible this game. Monkey King could be okay. We've got a few options. Oh, Weaver seems like he'd be pretty good. They don't have a lot of really hard control, but the Naga net could be just death for the Weaver. Not to mention the Tiny Burst combo one-shots Weaver once he gets like level 9 or 10 on Tiny. So they may not want to go that. They're definitely taking a lot of time here, and just looking at how things are set up, I still think MMKR really shaped up the draft at the end. It feels like they got good control, they've got good sustain damage. Again, I feel like they lack good initiation. It's going to be very hard for them, I feel like, to hard initiate on these enemy heroes. The Morphling could always morph into like Shaker or something and Fissure and then switch back, but that's not super reliable. If MMKR can counter engage, I think they probably have better damage at the moment. We'll see what the DG's last pick is, and that could, completely change things. Drow Ranger.
Choose your hero.
I think this is a really weak Drow game, though. Morphling gets on the hero very, very easily. Naganet could be devastating. The only other hero that benefits from it is Disruptor. I think if you wanted something like that, they could have gone for the Luna. It team fights early, it has good lane, it scales incredibly well, huge AoE damage even without the ult when she gets a couple items. But this Drow just feels like it's gonna. I feel like it could be very lackluster. That it won't do enough. And Tiny, once he gets a blink, oh god, she's in serious trouble. Morphling can just dive onto her. If she gets banished, there's a lot of problems waiting for her. So I really do not care for this Drow Ranger pick. But the rest of DG's draft, it looks good. Their team fight very nasty. Their individual pickoff and catch is extremely good. But it's not gonna be an easy game, to be sure, for either side, I imagine. We shall see. Go away win probability for Dota Plus. Anyways, I'm excited for this first game, and a best of 2. No one gets eliminated in the group stage of the AD2L. On the Radiant, on MMKR, Platinum plays Naga Siren all on the Shadow Demon Morphling by Obelisk. Pizza Pasta is the pastroni or the lettuce leaf Viper. Zykor, offlane Tiny. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, Troll Bus plays Earthshaker. Otto the Physicist on the Underlord. Mushi Mushi plays Drow Ranger. Kunkka by Thyme, and Toddington Bear is playing Disruptor. I wonder if either team tries to contest the bounty runes of the other. It could be good to do that. It doesn't look like the Dire are going to try to contest this necessarily. I feel like someone's missing. Where is Shadow? Where's Morphling? Or Naga Siren? There she is. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't look like either side is really posturing to contest. I feel like they would have gone by now if they were planning on it. The one nice thing about the Drow is it does help the Disruptor be a little bit more impactful in lane with his Harass. The Thunderstrike isn't great on its own. It's not bad. At level 1, that's 160 damage. But otherwise, when that's on cooldown, it's not great. But thanks to the Precision Aura, can right-click a little bit more effectively. An aggro tri-lane seems to have been set up in the bot. They have Platinum all and the Morphling down here. It's going to be hard for the first level or two to kill him, but they have enough magic damage that it is possible. I'm not sure how likely, but I think it is possible. The mid lane, I think, definitely favors the Viper. Poison attack harass onto melee heroes is so hard. Top, they have a lightning bolt on Thunderstrike onto Zykor. There is a fissure, but it doesn't block him. And without glimpse or frost arrows, he should get away, but takes a ton of damage. And now Troll, you gotta be careful. Tree toss. So Tiny, not the worst thing that's ever happened to him. Gets a decent trade, but Torrent slows down Pizza Pasta. Pizza Pasta trying to slow up time. There is no Tidebringer, so they're not able to cleave onto Pizza Pasta. But Thyme. I don't know why I want to keep saying Thyme. Thyme actually winning that trade very, very handily. Seems like a salve is flying out to the Viper. Mushi Mushi has frost arrows, which makes things a little bit more difficult for Zykor now. And Otto at level 2 will have Firestorm, and now is when he starts coming out on top of these little trades, I think. Firestorm does max HP damage. Riptide and Net. Firestorm and Platinum, you don't want to trade inside the Firestorm, or even just anyways. He has the Atrophy Aura, makes him incredibly durable and do a lot of damage. Back towards mid. Thyme taking up a lot of tower shots. That could be the end of him. Yep. He ticks out in first blood. Snagged by Pizza in the mid. Up top, Troll Bus harassing Zykor with the Enchant Totem. There is Avalanche, so he needs to be a bit careful. The damage, I don't think that's enough. Oh, they find a kill at bot lane with that waveform. It doesn't seem that they needed the Shadow Demon at all, and the Naga Net was all that it took. Maybe he got low and just got right-click down, bursted down a little bit. In waveform, 75 damage, Riptide, 120 damage, so yeah, a respectable chunk. Pizza Pasta up on high ground means it should be difficult. I don't know that they can kill him. a DD on Thyme with Tidebringer. I don't think you want to deal with that. What was the buff to it? Oh, they increased the damage late game. They're trying to stack for, I don't know that I don't know if Drow can farm a stack pretty well, but Underlord and Kunkka can. If they feel if they think Underlord needs to catch up, and he's died, and dying in the offlane, not terrible, especially since he's still level 3, so he's getting some levels even though he did die. But All has pulled the wave, getting himself some XP while zoning out this Underlord after this next wave. Avalanche toss, he has Tree, Toddington, very low, and actually does die to Zykor. So Zykor getting a solo kill against this opposing tri-lane. And CSing alright for the situation he's in. Against the tri-lane, he's doing okay, he's level 4. So having a bit of a better lane than Otto, who, though beating him in CS by a small margin, is behind him in levels. Platinum looking for the Underlord. 2 points now in Riptide. And 2 points in Waveform. He drops Firestorm. Don't think they're going in on him just yet.
Arcane power.
Is anything happening? It does not seem that they make an effort onto Otto. Just want to deny him a bit, but with the Firestorm and the Attribute, he's very hard to zone out. They have to kind of commit to kill him off. In the mid lane, the CS is favoring Thyme, but Pizza Pasta probably pretty even in overall gold. Poison attack, Thyme throws a torrent, Pizza dodges it. And without any kind of real regen available to the Kunkka, it's going to be incredibly easy for Pizza to zone him now. And once Pizza gets 6, there's a lot of kill potential there. Pigs onto Troll Bus. From Troll Bus. Looks like they want to make a play onto Zykor. He's going after this Josh. He's really low. The toss is going to be... No, it doesn't do enough damage. And Pizza hits 6. Viper Strike is all it took in the mid lane.
They thought it could get no darker.
So this mid just getting worse and worse. Thyme doing okay at the very beginning of the game, but now just starting to get bullied by Pizza. And once Viper Strike comes back up, I think he goes in again. Speaking of going in, they've got the Root, Firestorm, Shadow Poison. There is Waveform. They've banished him. They want to set up. They have some Shadow Poison stacking up. He just starts trying to TP out. Will he escape though? And in the fountain, he doesn't pop to the poison. And at top, Zykor. Will the Dire have better luck getting a kill onto the offlaner? And as it stands, MMKR 4-0 TP. There's no fissure. And they don't find Zykor anyway, so Tiny gets back to his tower. Could shrine up if he wants to get some mana, but has 10 stick charges. Going for Arcane Boots as well. Something I don't usually see is Arcane Boots. Tiny. I think if you're focused more on the magical burst aspect of the hero versus scaling with damage, then that's fine. And you have Morphling, who really is just an insanely strong carry late game. Not as good as he was after the nerfs. Thyme getting extremely low again. The boat comes in. It doesn't hit anybody. And a support rotation from Platinum makes that kill incredibly simple. 5-0 now. CS. The Dire are doing okay on CS, but they're down 2k gold here at 7 minutes. Morphling at the top of the last hits with 34. Then Drow, then Viper, then Kunkka. And the offlaners are practically even. A difference of 3 or 4 at any given moment. Once Zykor gets his Arcane Boots, I think, and if Naga's up here, they could go for a kill.
Denied.
I'm not sure though. I mean, what's he maxing? Is he maxing Avalanche? I usually see Toss, but Avalanche, good stun, good damage. So his burst combo, ew, Avalanche does hit Drow Ranger. She gets netted, she gets the silent off, but she's rooted, so they're going to be able to chase her. He doesn't have Avalanche, but he does have Toss. I don't think they can get this, though. Even maybe if he tosses Platinum onto her, and then she Riptides, and then he throws the tree, that could maybe do it, but a stretch either way. However, they're going back in, and Toddington Bear an easier kill. Glimpse and a good silence protecting this Disruptor, but for how long? She has Riptide at rank 2 Platinum, getting slowed up by the Drow. Toss. Off cooldown. Mushi getting dived again, going in deep. There's Riptide, Toss, a lot of magic damage. She's very, very low. No more tree. The Kunkka boat. Good silence with the Avalanche killing her. And now Zycor getting stunned by that boat. So is Platinum. But do they have the damage? A Fissure zoning them back in, trapping them in a really bad position. The net keeps Kunkka in place, but is it going to be enough? They're just so fast. They've got boots on both heroes. Even Tiny just trying to turn this. He has Avalanche. Gets Toddington Bear in a double kill. And now rotation repeats the bots with a DD rune. The Torrent. There is the Stride, but he's not going to save him anyway. No Sanctuary. A double kill for both Pizza Pasta and Zycor. Disaster for the Dire. 9-0 and a 4K gold lead at just 8 minutes and 30 seconds. The Radiant just out-rotating, out-maneuvering their opponents. Digital Gaming really struggling to get their foot in the door, and that there's still a DD rune. I think if he doesn't evade that, Viper goes in on him. So yes, both of the cores of the Radiant now sit at the top. Tiny with he's 3-0. This Drow 0-1. She's doing okay on last hit. She's at least keeping up with the mid, the opponent's mid. She's ahead of her own. And I mean, the team fight combo for Digital Gaming is very, very potent. If they get a boat, a Fissure, a Static Storm, tons of AoE damage that I'm not sure the Radiant MMKR can really do anything against. But they have to get to the point where they can take, if they're super far behind, and they're 5k gold behind right now at just 9 minutes, that team fight combo may not be enough. And it looks like they lose their Underlord at bot to the Shadow Demon. So yet another kill, 10-0 before 10 minutes. The Radiant, again, MMKR just executing very, very nicely. And Digital Gaming unable to catch a break, but there's still so much potential in their drafts. And potential for a kill here. There's Glimpse. They haven't cast it for Toddington. Mushi. Thunderstrike, glimpsing him back. They're good silence, trapping him in. This should be a good kill onto Zycor. He's Avalanche cost combo. It's not enough damage. And they do survive, and Mushi ends the killing spree of the Tinies with a good gold boost for her. Platinum winds up the net, but it's 1v3, and Naga only level 5.
Terrifying.
Kunkka, though, again dying. Continue. This mid Kunkka, it's something we don't see a whole lot, and I think we're seeing why right now. It just loses lane really badly without a ton of help, and his supports haven't really been in the mid lane. I think I'd like to see Digital Gaming rotate into mid to try to kill this Viper with the Kunkka comp with Boat, Torrent. They do have a lot of damage, but now it's starting to get really, really hard to actually get that. Pizza 5-0-1, level 10 to the Kunkka's level 7. You've got a Morphling who's also level 9, who has been uncontested in bot for the most part. Underlord heads mid as Kunkka rotates top. Are they going to look for kills up here? There are 3 Radiant heroes, Tiny, Plat, and all in position. The Invis rune will scout out Kunkka. Maybe all going to banish. He is in really, really deep. Silence missing. Avalanche, Toss, trying to be with the tree, but the Fissure zoning him away. He's got the boat calling in, bringing the back in net. Good defensive banish, stops the X from pulling Zycor in. And now with Viper here, he throws down the Viper Strike. Infused range up's not going to save you time. Break taking a lot of damage over time. Toss forward from onto all. Hitting time. Time dies to Riptide from Platinum. She has a net. Winds up. Catching Drow Ranger. She's ensnared and she's gone. Double kill for Naga Siren. And things 13-1. They're just continuing to get bad. And this tier 1, I don't think it's got a lot of time left. The Dire, if they can get their team fight off, it's really, really strong. We have yet to see them land that combo, and I don't even think Disruptor's level 6 yet. No, he's just level 4. Once Disruptor hits 6 and they've got that Kunkka combo, there's so much kill potential. Speaking of, they find this Earthshaker. He's behind his tower, but nowhere safe. Tier 1 bot tier 1 top should die, and Obelisk actually gets the tier 1 at bot as well. More gold in the coffers of MMKR. And it gets more and more difficult for digital gaming. Less and less room for error. They need to win a fight, and they need to win one soon. They need to get some kind of objective to get their heroes back in the game. Just looking at this net worth graph, it's really, really bad for them, and it's about to get a little bit worse for this Kunkka. Kunkka slowed up, trying to TP out. This is good. Good TP. He should escape. Pete's Basta, no stuns, nothing. And Kunkka, instant TP out. Gets him home to the safety of his fountain, keeping him healed up against that damage over time from the Viper. Platinum, only 700 gold from her Staff of Wizardry and a completed Meteor Hammer. And just the Ensnare is plenty for that, but of course can set up for AoE multi-hero Meteor Hammers with Song of the Siren. They can set it up with the Banish. So they have a great deal of tools to get those to make Meteor Hammer a really effective and efficient item. It will also help their pushing power, which they're not bad at pushing anyway with Morphling, Tiny. But you know, let's just make it better. Let's get a Meteor Hammer. And Obelisk has a Eagle Song going straight in for the Ethereal Blade. Soon the Morphling Shotgun will be up and running. Please Balata almost has his Saint SNY. Time has boat. Vanish. Hit of Malice. Catches 2 heroes. The Firestorm. He throws the boat. Should be okay. The Viper Strike. Slowing him up. A good stun. Hits onto the Viper. They're doing a lot of damage, but Dime, you don't want to be here. I think he needs to be careful pursuing. Comes back onto Naga. This could be a kill. She has Song. X from onto Time himself. Zykor toss combo. Avalanche gets the Underlord. And Time pulling himself back into the poison. And the poison from another Echo Slam not doing enough damage. 2 for 0 at the moment, and Platinum Invis. Unfortunately for digital gaming, they just can't get anything. They're missing all of these kills by just small margins. Mushi maybe able to split push. This top tier 1 still very, very healthy though, and Radiant Heroes striding up, going to rotate. They smoke. They want to find Drow, and Mushi senses something is amiss. Backs off to safety, but walks into an enemy ward. Will they continue pursuit? It appears so, as Zykor with his completed Blink Dagger and Mushi going in will get spotted out. They have Vanish. Or no, they use the Demonic Purge to get the silence. Will prevent getting stunned up, but the net from the Naga. Boat, Torrent, can it save their Drow? She's taking a lot less damage thanks to the run buff. Needs to get in range of that Sanctuary, just does, and goes back onto Platinum. Underlord Ubering in, Firestorm, lots of damage, a great fissure, trapping in 2, self-defensive Banish, but it's not enough in a Song. Just saving all, but all actually trapped out. Platinum himself could be in serious trouble, not TPing away just yet. Smack from the Earthshaker. Enchant Totem gets all, and Platinum sneaks away, but 2 for 0. Great job saving that Jaw Ranger. A really excellent fissure. Just separating the 2 teams here, allowing them to fight on their own terms. For the first time, really, this whole game, we see just about 1k gold and 1500 XP going the way of digital gaming. Their first real break. And I think they could even turn this into a tier 1. Actually, let's see how low this is. It's over half, so not likely. But it does give them some breathing room. And their Jaw Ranger got a kill in that again. She's killed the Tiny a couple times. Speaking of Tiny, Zykor TPing top. And Obelisk only now has enough for his Ethereal Blade. But Tiny, Blink combos, Disruptor. Simple matter.
Dire's middle tower is under fire.
And things, again, with the massive team fight potential and of things like that Earthshaker fissure that we saw earlier up at the top lane happen, they can come back. They can, but it's going to be very, very difficult. Morphling is getting bigger and bigger. He's at the top of the net worth, and that hero scales incredibly well. He's already got an Ethereal Blade doing 200 damage per auto attack. But he's fairly squishy. Otto wants to get this morph. They need to prevent him from using his morph though. X-Bow. Waveform combo. Otto still alive, but dies that last right click and thigh. Misses his whole combo. And Obelisk morphs strength to discourage any further pursuit. And it's only going to get worse from there. Otto barely surviving the shotgun. And once he gets like a manta or a butterfly or some other agility item, you won't survive that shotgun combo. It will only get worse and more terrifying. and I think Auto is their tankiest hero. Thankfully, Obelisk cannot waveform. I'm just taking too much damage. The right clicks. 2 more right clicks will do it, but I think he's too slow. He doesn't have the mana to waveform forward. Time phase boots. Keeps his distance. So they don't lose the Kunkka. And yeah, Auto, the tankiest hero on their team, by a little bit.
Radiant's bottom tower has uninvited guests.
Meanwhile, top lane, they just continue to shove. They should keep this tower very, very low. Silence, toss combo from Zykor onto Mushi. Very low, but still alive. Root from onto the Shaker. Shaker caught in that poison. Pit of Malice stopped by All with the banish, but now he comes out of it as he was caught inside the kinetic field. All taking some damage from that Firestorm. Will he be able to follow up at all? It does not seem so when it disengaged from the Radiant. They had Song just in case they needed it, and now Meteor Hammer on Platinum gives them even more control.
So those Dyers denied their top tower.
And all the while, Obelisk pushes bot, and he just does so much damage and attacks so fast. They force out Fortification, but they all TP'd top. Digital Gaming won't be able to respond, and they lose a tier 2. Sitting on 2,200 gold. I think he's going to go Manta. I feel like that's maybe Eye of Scott. Uh-oh. Disruptor, glimpsing him away. And Mushi Silence does not connect. Obelisk TP's home. I think that's the first time I've seen this Morphling leave his lane at all at any point.
Regeneration!
Viper eating a regen rune. Standing in the Roche pit. They may be able to get it with a morph, and he chooses to go for a Lincoln Sphere, as he's going to be rather squishy thanks to rushing the Ethereal Blade. And Lincoln's does give okay stats thanks to the Ultimate Orb and its recipe. Nagasong Platinum puts 2 Dire heroes to sleep. Meteor Hammer channeling. The sky is falling. Crushing 2. They're stunned for so long. The Static Storm catches 3. They have a Firestorm on top. A lot of AoE magic damage, but it's just not enough. Drow Ranger cuts in from behind, but she can't engage on that. She needs to keep herself away from this Morphling. Auto TP's banish onto the Shaker. Zykor positioning to get that combo. Blink, Avalanche, toss. Troll Bus extremely low. Echo Slam gets 1. But not enough damage to get anything else. A great counterplay from Trollbus, though, finding something out of what appeared to be nothing. But they still lose 3 for 1. And a gold swing. About 770 gold for MMKR, who just continue to dominate this game. Morphling at 10k net worth, almost doubling Underlords, and 4k ahead of Drow Ranger, who did go for 4-staff first. And a lot of the time they rush the Dragonlance, but I think in this game, with Tiny with a Blink, with Morphling with Waveform, you just gotta get away from these heroes. And you can even force self yourself during the Naga net. So I like the choice from Mushi to go for the 4-staff so that he's able to kind of position more safely. But Roshan dying, put into the Morphling. And it's monsoon season. This Morphling will not die. And I don't think they can kill him once, let alone twice, and it is going to hurt. I think he just full combos the Drow. Let's see, he's got a almost, glimpse back onto Zykor Troll Bus. You might want to get out of there, buddy. Waveform, shotgun. 1 dead. Obelisk needs to be careful about the boat. Doing a ton of damage, but Dime survives. The boat stun. Obelisk pursues up high ground as he knows he has that second life. Caught in a pit of malice, a good silence from Drow Ranger. But Shadowblade, Zykor, he could get a multi-man stun. Net, Firestorm, a lot of damage. Static Storm catches on 3 heroes. They get 1, but the Meteor Hammer stuns 2. Do they have any more damage? Zykor barely alive. The Firestorm takes him down, but Morphling back alive immediately shotguns 1. Waveform forward, Silence pushing back from Mushi. Glimpse sends Viper away, but Morphling's still there. And they've lost 4. Mushi should escape this. And GG just called at 21 minutes. By time, the Dire, they just can't keep up, drowned by all of the advantage that the Radiant built up so quickly. And MMKR make quick work of Digital Gaming. We'll be right back with game number 2. I hope you guys have enjoyed the cast so far. If you have any feedback, please leave it in the chat. Thank you again for stopping by, and we'll be right back for game number 2.